I think we are good to go. Thanks to all the healthcare leaders, investors, and innovation experts who are joining us today to witness innovations that have the power to make healthcare affordable, accessible, and efficient for billions of people. This is Pankaj Gupta, Managing Partner at EthAum Partners. We are a zero-BS revenue scaler headquartered in Singapore with more than 120 B2B global startups in our portfolio. In the Zero BS Healthcare Revenue Scale-up program, we onboarded a few truly transformative healthcare startups that are disrupting various aspects such as remote patient monitoring, spine surgery, cancer detection, chronic disease management, telehealth, and kids' wellness. As you know, an impressive line of startup pitches needs an even more impressive and seasoned jury. And that's why we also have a varied jury with a lot of expertise and experience in the hospital, healthcare innovation, and investment space. The jury will score startups on different aspects of the business and provide feedback at the end of the session. Now, I would request our esteemed jury members to introduce themselves. If I may start with Dr. Guy. Dr. Guy, please go ahead and introduce yourself. A quick introduction.
Sure, of course. I'm Dr. Guy Maytal. I'm a psychiatrist with over 20 years experience in both academia and in industry. And I'm currently the Chief Medical Officer at Forge Health, a mental health company that is dedicated to providing affordable and effective mental health care. And before then, I've had a career where I've been a leader at both Mass General Hospital and Harvard University in Boston and Weill Cornell University in New York City.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Guy. Really appreciate your time. And I'm sure we are going to see a lot of interesting questions and feedback for starters from your side. Now, may I request Dr. Sejoy to go ahead and introduce himself?
Hello, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Really excited to join this, jury session. I'm sure we will have a lot of interesting, things to actually observe today. My background is infectious disease, and then I'm trained from MIT. At Apollo, I design, develop, and deploy clinical AI solutions across the enterprise and also go about in disseminating it across the world. I'll stop there, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Sejoy. I appreciate your time today. May I request Lovik to go next, please?
Sure. I'm Loic Sobilo. Nice meeting you. I have a background as an engineer and been working during 15 years in the industry, especially in the medical device industry. I'm now the head of the tech transfer office of one of the major cancer care center, comprehensive cancer care center in France. I'm also the director of the innovation subsidiary of that comprehensive cancer center. Happy to be here and hope to see some nice investment opportunities.
Thanks a lot, Lovik. I'm sure we will see some really interesting innovations today. Now, may I request Larry to go next, please? Larry, please.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. So it's afternoon in London. I know people are calling from different parts of the world. So I'm based in London. My background is fairly mixed. I'm a musculoskeletal physiotherapist clinician by background, but I've also spent a lot of my time in the last few years working at one of the largest, what we call integrated care systems in London, really specializing on the supporting of implementation, adoption and scale of innovations. A lot of that has been in the long-term condition space around CVD, diabetes, but also more recently children and young people's mental health. And I sit on a couple of boards in some other spaces. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Larry. Appreciate your time today. Joseph, may I request you to go next, please?
Yeah, hi, nice to meet everybody. I am the CEO of a technology company in the healthcare sector. I've been working in healthcare technology for almost 20 years in everything from products focused on medication adherence, public health to insurance, just across the board, and have had several exits in the space. Looking forward to hearing from everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Joseph. Really appreciate your time today. Dave, may I request you to go next, please?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dave Berner, calling in from sunny Miami. I have 20 years health tech experience, really focused on interoperability and integration. I'm currently with my fourth startup as the head of solution engineering at Zeus Health, which is a startup which is pulling medical records at scale from nationwide networks and providing them for different startups to help innovate with.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dave, for your time today. May I request Dr. Pardhu to go next? Dr. Pardhu, please.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Pardhu from KIMS Hospitals, Hyderabad, from India. I'm an Group CMIO and the medical admin of KIMS Hospitals, Hyderabad. I take care of entire development of in-house development of EHR and the other AI applications in the organization.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Pardhu. Really appreciate your time today. Do we have any other jury members who did not get a chance to introduce themselves? Okay, I think we should be moving on. So again, thanks a lot, all the jury members, for being part of the event today. I'm sure we will have some really intriguing questions from your side. Jurors, please do not forget to score startups after their pitch. We will be sharing the scoring sheet with you again if you don't have it. We will also seek your final verdict at the end of all the pitchers. And again, as I mentioned earlier, please use jury suffix with your name so that the audience can identify you easily. Just to share the structure of today's session, you will watch the pre-recorded video pitches for 4 minutes, and then we will have approximately 1 to 2 minutes to ask a few questions. If there are more questions, then we will use chat section, and I'm sure that the startup founders will reply to those questions in the chat section. Again, if you want to connect with the startups later on, we will request your feedback on how you want to connect with those startups, and we'll make the introductions. Now it's time to dive into the very first presentation, which is called Gens Technologies from Hong Kong, which offers a portable AI health screening device for preventive screening and chronic disease management. And here we go in a moment.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the founding CEO of Gens Technologies. At Gens, we have a portable AI health screening device that does 2 things. We do preventive screening and chronic disease management. Primarily, we operate in liver, fatty liver mostly, but we also have capabilities in lungs and kidneys as well. So if you look at the top left, we have our main device, an EIT device, electrical impedance tomography, which connects to 2 things. The first one, it connects to a belt, which we wear around the torso. So if it's a fatty liver disease, we screen around the waistline, and then it's normally within a minute. So on the right is our app. It's on Google Store, it's on App Store, and it does the instruction of how you do the test. So you follow all the instruction, and then it also tells you the results almost in real time as well. So it's numbers, it's simple guidelines that even non-medical personnel can interpret. So a bit about background. Our investors include Alibaba, Gobi Partners, and then the Hong Kong government and some universities are also our shareholders in our pre-A round. We've been listed on the Forbes 100 to watch list. We have won the Alibaba Global Jumpstarter Competition Award. In terms of academic partners, we have over 10 professor partnerships. So we have completed clinical trials with them. We're improving the algorithm with them. And in other countries, for example, in the US, we have done validation studies as well. So the reason why we work in fatty liver is because it's a very prevalent disease. We're talking about 2 billion people globally who have fatty liver. It's costly disease as well. It's double the amount of cost comparing to people who don't have fatty liver. And it's partially because it's the leading cause of liver cancer, particularly HCC and liver fibrosis as well. But the good thing about fatty liver, it's very reversible. So it can be reversed in around 6 weeks' time, which cannot be said for liver cancer and liver fibrosis. So that's why this is a focus. How it works is quite simple. So on the left, you have someone who could be a nurse, but could also be a social worker, could be a volunteer, and that we can train really easily. Put it on 30 seconds mostly, and then you go on to the test. Fed liver is 39 seconds to complete the test. And then within half a minute, we generate results via the cloud and AI algorithms. And those are numbers. So it's really simple to categorize those and interpret those with our report guidelines as well. So it could be as fast as 5 minutes. So you can do 30 people in the morning for corporate screening, for community visits, health campaigns. Technology itself is called EIT. So we look at electrical properties. So, for example, fat liver tissue and healthy liver tissue have really different conductivity, resistivity across frequencies. We sweep those, recognize the signature, and see how severe that is. And we don't make up our own indicators as well. So we benchmark with clinical standards, so with ultrasound, with MRI. And then we have done comparison studies with over 400 subjects. And the sensitivity, specificity overall is around 80%. So on the 400, we also done over 6,000 commercial scans on many different people as well. In terms of clients, we serve elderly care, in home care, in community services, and sometimes we work in conjunction with public sector just to keep people away from hospital, away from readmission, so that it doesn't drain the resources as much. Private clinics, we work with some of the big ones in the region, and they like it for lead generation. So corporate screening, they can screen a lot of people in a single morning. A lot of lead generation campaign as well. So it's much easier comfort with a scan as such. And then they also do engagement. So quarterly, they can ask people to come back and then maintain a health process and combine it with maybe wellness or health management services as well. Patents, we have 9 of those. We have also 19 publications, including in Nature scientific reports, co-authored with progresses. And we also have commercial compliance internationally with ISO 13485 and 60601, so that we can export in quite a lot of countries. Thank you very much.
So that was a quick pitch from Gens Technologies. We have Justin on the call to respond to your questions, and you may also be seeing poll on your screen. Please respond to that. Go ahead. Please unmute yourself, jury members, and feel free to ask your questions. Larry, did you have a question?
One question, I guess, is just in terms of trying to understand the scale, so the size of the population, the size of the problem. Obviously, that depends a little bit on where you are in the world. So for us in the UK, I guess long-term conditions, broadly speaking, are quite important. So, and fatty liver disease is obviously linked to things like diabetes, hypertension. But what is the scope of this to be broadened beyond fatty liver? Do you see that as the main area of focus?
Right. No, so thank you for the question, Larry. Fatty liver globally, prevalence is around 30%. And it's one of the leading factors for all of the liver diseases. So fibrosis, cirrhosis, and liver cancer as well. So all of those later stages, it's quite hard to reverse. So what we're looking at is really primary care focused, and we're just trying to limit that, reverse that in that setting. So that's primarily where we operate in.
Thanks a lot, Larry. Thanks, Justin. I think there's a question from Luck Bowie. Luck, please go ahead. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations, Justin. Looks great. I've never seen a belt for a format for like a point of care technology. The question I had was around the sensitivity. So if by sensitivity, you mean how it relates to the incumbent technology for monitoring and diagnosis. And I remember you said it was 80%. Is there work or is there a pathway to sort of increase that number to maybe about 90 to 95? Is that possible?
So I think 90 is potentially possible because ultrasound and MRI itself, sensitivity, specificity, depending on how you tweak it, it's around 80-85% as well. So we have several different pathways to improve those. Hardware-wise, we have improved several different new ways to detect, so the signal is more accurate, and then we can screen out noise a bit better. Obviously, algorithms with more patients, more specific ethnicity groups, that could be improved as well. So 85, 90 is possible. 95, I think we will need quite a bit more improvement on this, but that's not within like not out of the realm of possibility as well. So it's certainly something we're looking at. But other than just that sensitivity, specificity, we're looking at also down the road, other than fatty liver fibrosis, other liver conditions, we're also looking at as well. So it's more comprehensive that way.
Thank you, Justin. We'll take one last question from Dr. Guy. Dr. Guy, please go ahead.
Thank you. I actually had two questions. The previous juror asked my first. The second is, what are the rates of conversion from fatty liver disease into the more serious illnesses? The concern, of course, I would have is that we would find benign things and then over-treat people who don't need treatment.
Right. So it's quite significant. It depends on diseases. So the thing I could tell you, it's basically listed as a leading factor for fibrosis, for liver cancer, HCC mostly, and conversion varies around countries. So some of those would say it's around 20%, depending on the length of the time they have it. But it's sort of a multiplication of factors. But what we're looking at sort of in general is really the main cause of it. If you have fatty liver disease, it's double amount of cost in sort of healthcare settings to maintain that patient in terms of the public healthcare or private healthcare cost. So that's sort of generally how we summarize that figure in a nutshell.
Thanks a lot, Justin.
Thank you.
If there are more questions, we'll have to take them in the chat section. The next presentation is Genesis Medical Vision, which offers an AI solution for early detection of cancer. And here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Imagine you can extract the mind of the world's leading professor and turn it into an algorithm. Imagine you could take the mind of 10 such professors, combine all their clinical knowledge, years of experience, places of disagreement, intuition. This is exactly what we at Genesis Medical do. Our deep and unique technology allows us to imitate and replicate the logic and intuition of the physician and turn it into an algorithm. Thanks to that, we can automatically detect cancer at the earliest stages possible with the highest levels of accuracy and reliability. Hello, everybody. My name is Shai Cohen, CEO and co-founder of Genesis Medical Vision. Genesis is an early detection of cancer AI platform. Our proprietary technology allows us to solve the main problems hampering the adoption of AI into medical imaging and specifically into the early detection of cancer, one of the last global domains to which AI has yet to truly penetrate. In our vision, we're building a full pan-cancer platform where the patient shall go through a full-body PET-CT scan, and our system shall recognize all 15 abnormalities at the earliest stages possible. Our super strong team comprises of the leading professors in the country. Myself, your humble servant, coming from a business background, together with the leading radiologist, oncologist, nuclear medicine experts, and the mathematician professor who has been developing our very deep technology. Our first product is the G4 Lungs, allowing automatic screening of lung cancer, the second most common type of cancer, but the deadliest of them all, mainly due to late detection. The G4 Lungs finalized clinical trials with our design partner, the largest medical imaging provider in the country, showing remarkable results. We've reached 97% sensitivity with only 0.2 false positive per case at the other end. These results allowed us to get into cooperations with the leading global institutions in the field. In Europe, we've partnered with iDNA, the leading global lung cancer organization, for a strategic project spanning across 11 European countries, affiliating with the two most important screening programs. In the US, we're in the middle of a study with MGH in Boston, one of the best hospitals in the world. We're building a large-scale project with one of the leading radiology companies in the US and a designated screening programs for the US Veterans Association. The G4 Lungs is fully integrated into the PACS system and clinical workflow of the radiologist, fully automates the entire process of interpreting a chest CT scan, from patient prioritization through nodule detection and Landgrad's classification, proper segmentation and accurate measurements, allowing comparison with the previous cases and calculating the volume doubling time of the finding, and all the way towards a fully automated recommended report. This allows to dramatically spare the interpretation time, increase healthcare providers' revenues, and improve clinical outcomes. The product is entering pilots in Brazil, Poland, and Israel. If you're an imaging center, a radiology company, or a hospital involved with cancer diagnosis or treatment, we'll be glad to discuss such potential pilots. If you're an investor who would like to join us in our journey towards the holy grail of early detection of cancer, we'll be more than happy to discuss such potential collaboration. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. That was a quick presentation from Shai. Shai is ready to take any brutal, difficult questions from our jury members. So jury members, please unmute yourself and yeah, Sujay, please go ahead, Dr. Sujay.
Thank you. That's very impressive. I have a couple of questions which are more about your validation strategy, because you have multiple countries that you are looking at this point of time. I want to understand, did you, or did I miss that you currently are looking at 15 different organs or systems for which you provide predictions for cancer or diagnose early cancers?
So thank you for the question. No, we don't currently look at 15 different abnormalities. That is our vision. Our vision is to build a full pan-cancer platform, which will be able to detect all cancer types, all 15 abnormalities at the earliest stages possible. Still, a startup company, a very high level of focus. Our first product is for lung cancer, allowing automatic screening of lung cancer. We have already started the R&D for our second product in the platform, which will be for prostate cancer with a slightly different angle, not only early detection, over there we're building a model which, based on imaging only, allows to dramatically spare the unnecessary biopsies towards, reaching our vision of a full pan-cancer platform.
Thanks a lot, Shai. Let's take the next question from Dave.
Can I just have a quick...
Yeah, please. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the point that I wanted to make here, Shay, is also about what is your total, sample size, particularly for lung cancer, and for these particular models, what is the time duration or the temporal part that you would have taken for these cancers to, the prediction amount of time that they would take to have a full-blown cancer, and you are picking up them early?
Yeah, so good question. The comparison we do is in two stages. First of all, in the point in the clinical workflow we currently integrate, which is now the radiologist interpretation. So the first comparison is towards the radiologist interpretation. And in our clinical trials, we usually take at least two panels of at least 5 radiologists. Okay, that's one. Second, in the project we're doing with iDNA, for example, we are first being compared to the radiologist interpretation. Second, to different AI models, comparative study. And third, to the follow-up. Sometimes we have follow-up data of 3-4 years, and then we look at the pathology as well. And then we're able to show that we have detected a very tiny nodule, sometimes 2-3 millimeters the size, and to really show that in 3 years, it really matured and developed into cancer.
Shai, I think there are a lot of questions for you. And we'll have
sure,
to see
and I'll be glad to pick up any of them, or obviously offline in
let's take the next question from Dave. I know he has been raising his hand for quite some time now. Dave, please go ahead.
Sure. I've got a question more about your integration. You say that you've integrated the clinical workflow. The PACS market is historically super fragmented. What have you actually integrated? Which EHRs? Are you integrating the full DICOM, or is it just the interpretations? What's your penetration there?
So currently we're finalizing the integration into GE's PACS. And the integration is very simple with our design partner. What we're doing is we define exactly what type of DICOM files we interpret. And in a middleware that we've built, they go onto our cloud-based platform, being interpreted over there, and go back down to the radiologist workstation. The goal is to really fully integrate into the clinical workflow to save as much time as possible.
Got it. Thanks.
Loic, please go ahead.
Yeah, my question was actually the same.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. I'll take one more question from Larry, and then I know there are a bunch of questions in the chat section. Larry, please.
Thank you. So some of my questions have been answered, so I don't have to go over them. So I had a question around your sample size, which appears quite small, but obviously as a startup, some of that we picked up. I guess I'm really interested in, and also the other question was, who are your competitors and how is it differentiated? And again, someone's asked that question in the chat. But I guess I'm really interested. This is pitched as a screening tool. Again, I'm aware healthcare systems are different, but as a screening tool, I would have thought you'd want to be placed more in primary care rather than in a specialist center like radiology, for example.
Yeah.
I just wondered if that had been part of your consideration and what are the reasons for that, and if you see that being a problem.
Yeah, we first go-to-market emphasizes more on outpatient, on radiology companies, imaging centers, and the like. Afterwards, yeah, we will work with hospitals involved with screening as well. And again, this is only the first product, and lung cancer screening being the penetration niche. Super important, but only the penetration niche.
Okay, fantastic, Shai. I think you are going to spend another 15 minutes responding to all the questions in the chat section. Please go ahead there. The next presentation is Pathkeeper Surgical, which offers AI 3D imaging solution to enhance accuracy and real-time guidance during spine surgery. And here we go.
Good morning. I'm Erez Lambert. I'm the CEO and founder of Pathkeeper Surgical. Pathkeeper built a new kind of navigation system for orthopedic surgery. One that is radiation-free, highly accurate, and designed to make advanced navigation accessible to every operating system. Pathkeeper has an FDA clearance, did more than 150 surgeries in the United States, and signed a significant commercial agreement both with Highridge Medical and Vizient. Pathkeeper decided to start with spinal surgery because spinal surgery is among the most delicate procedures in healthcare. Misplaced screws can paralyze patients and happen about 30% of the cases. Radiation exposures and ongoing risks to patients, surgeons, and OR staff, with women surgeons reporting 4 times more breast cancer than regular women in the population. Current systems meant to solve these problems, that our navigation and robotic systems, remain bulky, expensive, and disruptive. Adoption is still low, and many hospitals and ASCs simply cannot justify the cost and complexity. Here's how it works. The system only needs the patient's pre-op CT. System setup is in minutes, requires no additional images, and is compact and mobile enough to move easily between operating rooms or even between facilities. Once the system is in place, our camera instantly registers the spine based on an optical scan. From there, Pathkeeper tracks both the spinal anatomy and the surgical tools, correcting for every movement during the surgery. Pathkeeper is already used by surgeons. We received FDA clearance in 2023, and since then it has been used in more than 150 successful surgeries across the US and Israel. We installed more than 10 units in leading institutions that are in active use, and recently signed a commercial partnership with Highridge Medical, a top 5 spinal company, which includes initial purchase of 12 units at a value of more than $2 million, and give Pathkeeper an access to more than 200 hospitals in the indirect way. The consistent feedback from surgeons is great. Setup is faster, workflow is smoother, and accuracy is excellent. Behind Pathkeeper is a team with deep expertise in spine surgery, imaging, and commercialization. I come from Inline Technology, where I helped build the iTero 3D dental camera into a global leader. Our chairman, Dr. Richard Westmark, is a Harvard-trained neurosurgeon. We combine engineering, AI capabilities, and clinical leadership to deliver a practical and transformative solution.
PathKeeper is a work in progress. It's a great system. Each new generation brings more sophistication, more ease in. I would say it's straightforward. Somewhere between 5 to 10 cases, you got the whole flow underneath your hands. You get where you need to know where to put the markers and get the anatomy out of the way, and you can really get it quickly to help you out in the OR.
AI is on the path to change surgery, and PathKeeper is the leader in this field, combining AI imaging and real-time navigation. PathKeeper is now raising a Series A, and we are calling you to join us and lead the future of surgery. Thank you.
Okay, so that's PathKeeper, and we have Erez on the call to respond to your questions. Jury members, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. There is polls on your screen as well. Yep, Luck, please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi, yeah, sorry. The very beginning, I was my audio wasn't so good. Might be a daft question, but what is the problem that you're looking to overcome here with your technology?
Right. I mean, simply spine surgery, the basic procedure in spine surgery is putting screws. And as we said, there's a lot of misplaced screws at the moment to surgeon work. So surgeons find it very hard to place screws, especially in a bit more complex cases like deformity and complexity. We're talking about more than 30% of the screws are misplaced, and the result is about 20% of surgery that has revision surgery. The multi-million-dollar solutions that are out there just simply doesn't do the work because they require a lot of radiation, a lot of infrastructure that costs millions, and just slow down the process in a significant way. So helping surgeons put pedicle screws accurately without excessive radiation and costs.
Yeah, perfectly answered. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Luck. Thanks a lot, Erez.
Thank you.
Any other question for Erez? Okay, if you have more questions for Erez, please use the chat section.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Erez. Now we'll be moving on to the next presentation, which is Albert Health. It's AI-powered chronic disease management solution, which enables behavioral change and lifestyle modification. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Sardar, co-founder of Albert Health. Albert Health is a multi-chronic disease management platform that leverages AI. Here's a quick overview of where we stand today. We have raised $3 million to date and delivered disease management programs with 19 B2B customers across 3 languages, English, Arabic, and Turkish. Our partnerships include leading global pharma companies such as Roche, Pfizer, Novo Nordisk, hospitals like Memorial NHS, and insurance like Tavunia Bupa Medisa. The challenge we are focusing on is treatment adherence. Even the best therapy fails if patients with chronic diseases don't comply, driving higher costs and mortality. Globally, over 50% of people with diabetes skip medicines, and lifestyle adherence is even lower. This costs the health industry $600 billion each year. We empower patients with medical articles designed by doctors, metric trackers, and medical insights based on patient-reported outcomes, medication reminders to increase adherence, smart device integrations, including Apple Health and Google Fit. Also, patients can record their symptoms and nutrition diary and share them with their doctors during the telehealth consultation. Our AI-based voice assistant, trained by doctors, supports every user. Yet, the true backbone of the app is its personalized gamification journey. By completing tailored tasks, users advance through disease management skill levels, ensuring engagement, confidence, and sustained health outcomes. Our differentiation comes from AI engine that drives personalization in disease management. Our medical team design every journey to ensure clinical accuracy, and our AI continuously adapts these journeys based on patient data from the app. Each user gets a unique path. Zeynep with obesity and prediabetes won't follow the same journey as Otman with diabetes and hypertension. How we are creating business value across the ecosystem. Pharma companies work with us to activate patients and generate real-world data. In one of our clinical trials, our app improved treatment adherence from 62% to 85% within just 3 months. Insurers partner with us to reduce healthcare claims and market differentiation. Here is what it looks like in practice. In a diabetes cohort of 1,000 people, you can save $173,000 with Albert. Healthcare providers to open new revenue streams and increase patient loyalty. Here is how we can collaborate. In just 6 weeks, we can launch a disease-specific program, either from our existing portfolio or tailored to your focus. It can run as a standalone solution or be integrated into your app. If this sounds relevant, just share your priority area and we will get started. You may wonder, is it working? Yes, in a randomized clinical trial of our diabetes program, Albert users outperformed the usual care patients with a reduction of 1.07 in A1C levels. It means Albert is effective as one of the most prescribed diabetes medication. Is it valid? Yes, Albert is CE certified. Under the European Union Medical Device Regulation, it has been recognized as a Class 2A software as a medical device. We were funded by 3 former Siemens engineers and are supported by a leadership team of in-house medical doctors and engineers. We have started in the UK and Turkey, now expanding into MENA region. We believe chronic disease outcomes improve only with patient empowerment, and Albert Health exists to make that a reality. Thank you.
Fantastic. We have Sardar and Dr. Zainab to respond to your questions. Jury members, please.
Wonderful. Thank you for a beautiful presentation. First thing is around, when you look at these patients, chronic patients, whether it is diabetes, hypertension, you would have to look at it from a perspective of longitudinal studies, results, and their effects. I saw about the 3 months. Is there a plan to study some of these patients for, say, 3 years or 5 years and go about in understanding what that have changed overall?
And let me introduce our medical director, Zeynep, today. She can answer in the medical perspective.
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you for the question. Well, our clinical trial has started last year, and we are continuously monitoring these patients according to their clinical laboratory results, such as hemoglobin A1C and other biochemical markers. At the moment, we have the interim results for 3 months, but at the end, we are going to show up with the 1-year period of their clinical results. But we know that with this kind of clinical disease management platforms, the clinical trials are not actually randomized controlled with a lot of population. So when you compare with other clinical trials in this setting, still it serves as a strong clinical value and evidence, because it already showed 1.07 hemoglobin A1C decrease just with using Albert Health.
One more question, and quickly around, you talked about real-world evidence with pharma and insurance. What is the kind of guardrails that you have on sharing patient private data with insurers or with pharma?
Yeah, actually, these are the insights based on patient data, but we are of course masking, and we are not sharing any personal data. We are completely compliant with the legislation, and in each state, we are also getting license from the governments generally, and they're inspecting our data sharing procedures. So we are HIPAA compliant. We have ISO 27001, 27701. We are approved by the government, plus comply with the NHS DTEC regulations. So we are not sharing any personalized data. These are the reports, real world data, analytics based on patient data.
SOC 2 or high trust?
No, SOC 2 or high trust, no.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sardar. Do we have any other question for Sardar or Dr. Zan? Yeah, Larry, please go ahead.
Thanks. I think the problem you're trying to solve is a big problem. I guess I'm just worried or concerned a little bit about the uniqueness of the solution. So I'm aware of at least a few platforms in the UK who do something similar, and even you could argue some of this could be done just on the apps that are available on your iPhone or other solutions. So I'm interested in what you feel your USP is, particularly as you go into different markets and patients.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, we are looking in a two perspectives. It's the one medical differentiation, one technological differentiation. In technological differentiation, yes, we are utilizing the AI to create subgroups, patient subgroups based on the risk score of the patient. We are getting the data from the medical devices, from the EHR, patientreports.com, doctorreports.com, and then analyzing in the data lake and personalizing and gamifying the journey. But it's not enough. The main differentiation you can create in our business is the medical differentiation. That's why we are investing in this area a lot and to show we are more effective than our competitors. So that's why we are making clinical. We created our own medical team, like Dr. Zeynep, she's the internal medicine specialist, and getting the CE mark. Now then we will get the FDA and strengthen the clinical side to create a real differentiation.
Thanks, Sardar. Let's take the last question from Dr. Guy, and then we'll move on to the next presentation. Dr. Guy, please.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, one follow-up question. Do you have data comparing medical outcomes from your product to that of other similar products? And a separate, how do you, and if so, how do you account for mental health components in these patient journeys?
Thank you for the question. Yes, when we compare with other products clinical trials, we saw that actually we were started that with our clinical trial, and we weren't aware that the other companies are running very simple clinical trials like retrospective data analysis and comparing internally the results. But what we did is actually comparing the ones who are using Albert Health versus the ones who are using usual care only. So it was a randomized controlled trial to show the real effect of Albert Health. And on the other hand, when we see that the patients, number of the patients, participants, we saw that patients were like 12 patients, 24 patients were involved in other clinical trials, but ours was 160 on one arm and on 160 on the other. So it points that it's a strong clinical trial in that area. And the other question was, Dr. Guy?
Regarding the role of mental health.
Yes, and for that, actually, since we are dealing with chronic health, chronic diseases, we always have psychological telehealth opportunities for patients who are dealing with chronic diseases. And we actually categorize patients based on the severity of their diseases. For example, a patient who is not adherent to the treatment, and I'm not saying medication adherence, the treatment adherence, which means going to the follow-up visits or doing the homework that they should do that their doctors gave. If the patient is not persistent with their tasks and to-dos, we assign psychologists to meet via telehealth to support them mentally.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Dr. Zainab and Sardar, for responding to questions. There are more questions in the chat sections. I would request you to look into them. The next presentation is Life Plus or Life Health Technologies. They are based out of Tanzania and offering an AI-powered healthcare cluster network, which offers telehealth, e-pharmacy, and appointment management. And here we go.
Hello, my name is William, and I'm a team lead at Life Plus, a digital health company helping healthcare providers unlock growth through digital transformation. Healthcare is evolving, and the business process of providers is changing. However, hospitals still grapple with the most fundamental challenges. So what problems are we solving for hospitals? First is patient linkage. In Africa, 60% of patients self-medicate due to long travel and wait times, and 80% skip follow-ups. In the West, patients are drawn to telehealth brands while insurers push zero copay options, pulling visits away from hospitals, resulting to a $50 billion total annual loss. Another major issue is the critical underutilization of data and intelligence. While big tech monetizes every data point, hospitals sit on vast amounts of clinical and operational data. This means missed opportunities to improve clinical decisions, optimize operations, create new revenue sources, and personalize care. This is where LifePlus steps in. We believe we've designed a fit solutions for these problems. So what is LifePlus? As a solution, LifePlus provides a modular software infrastructure for hospitals to build custom digital health solutions at $0 initial cost. Hospitals leverage our tech and business expertise to reach new patient segments with minimal risks. Our component-based operating system allows providers to mix and match components like telehealth, e-pharmacy, and AI clinical support hub, or deploy as an all-in-one solution for comprehensive patient care. Our telehealth and e-pharmacy module empowers hospitals to reach new and remote patients while enabling personalized care and digital follow-ups to reduce patient leakage. Our AI clinical support hub automates pre-visit screenings, delivers real-time visit suggestions, and transcribes notes, boosting revenue efficiency, reducing burnout, and closing revenue leakage. Today, we work with 475 providers, and our vision is to build an intelligent supercluster connecting hospitals to share data and intelligence at scale. To learn more, book a demo with us at ceo@lifeplus.com. What does all this mean in practice? Here's tangible value which hospitals acquire working with us. We unlock 38% new outpatient revenue, free 10 to 13 hours a week off doctors' time on admin tasks, boost patient retention by 40%, and turn hospital data into shared intelligence and new revenue streams. Our traction demonstrates our growth. Since 2022, we've been able to onboard 407 specialist doctors and 68 health facilities, allowing us to facilitate over 110,000 appointments and generate $760,000 in revenues. We operate in 3 countries with government and medical professional association partnerships. Our business model is built on the basis that we only make money when our partners make money. We charge 27 to 50% revenue sharing without upfront fees. We also charge 5% commission for tests done by our partner test facilities. As we grew, medical tourism emerged as a secondary business. Each year, more than 300,000 Africans travel to India for care, spending $2 billion in medical bills. We facilitate dozens of patients to India, and now we're seeking partnerships in the UAE and Turkey. So why work with us? Digital healthcare is a new business vertical which hospitals lack expertise to tap into. We provide the tech, market, and regulatory know-how, and with the largest network of hospital partnership, we act as an innovation partner in a fast-moving space. Our team brings 32 years of combined experience across medicine, business, and technology with $300 million in industry localization. We're backed by world-class investors, and advisory represents over $50 billion in portfolio value. We're a fast-growing healthcare network. Every partnership adds to our shared intelligence. Join us. Thank you.
Fantastic. We have William on the call to respond to your questions. Do you remember, please? Yeah, Dave, please go ahead.
I love the model for payment. Everybody likes a free solution. The thing I'm trying to understand is what exactly are you? Are you a digital front door? Is it you can build experiences with no code? Is it more like a managed service organization and it's just bolt-ons?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So basically, we started as a telehealth company. Basically, we started onboarding doctors and, to offer like a two-sided platform where one side on-demand doctors, one side there's patients, and then the other side there's the doctors, right? But then again, we as we moved along, we understood that there's a bigger market and there's bigger opportunity. There's also a bigger opportunity to further differentiate ourselves because of the competition that was coming in. So we scaled to onboarding hospitals, which is our key differentiating aspect. Building network effects in the sense that with every hospital that's onboarded, increases the shared intelligence of the network, which eventually, locks in more hospitals and enhances our defensibility. So this is how we started, and then we started building, a land and expand strategy where, we offered other additional services to keep, the hospitals in value chain, and to keep them innovating. This is why we emphasize, the modules aspect of our business and our solution.
Thanks.
So is it me? I think you're mute. Sorry.
You had a question.
Yes, thank you. So thanks, William. That was a really good presentation. Similar question maybe to Dave. Mark, I'm trying to figure out how you generate revenue, which sounds like it's around how data is processed or sold. And I guess I'm just interested in your approach to data security and kind of securing patient information and making sure that information doesn't get sold. What's your approach to that, and how does that create the revenue element? Because a lot of what I saw there was really good, but was very much focused on the providers rather than the patient experience and outcomes. I was just interested in your perspective from that point of view.
Definitely, Larry. So basically, our big chunk of our revenues come from the appointments that we facilitate through our telehealth and appointment booking, as well as e-prescription, right? So we've built an ecosystem where typically you can, consult a doctor remotely, and then they can, you can visit to a nearby test facility, and then, they'll send by, because they're in our ecosystem, they can send the results to the doctor, and then the doctor can write your prescription, and then you can collect your meds at your nearest clinic. That's the big chunk of our business, because that's how we started. And then later, we were approached by data brokerage firms, the likes of Capsule, which is one of the biggest data brokerage firms from the UK. And, they're really interested to understand specific aspects of the market, but they also contract us to gather data around a specific medical condition in this part of the world. So data is like a secondary business building on what we started building, and the amount of data that we keep generating with our partner hospitals on a day-to-day basis. To answer your second question, I think, which was around security, we are HIPAA compliant, and we follow other, security standards in the world, the likes of GDPR, everything to do with, I think my CTO is here, but everything to do with, encryption of data from the point of start to the point of end, role-based access controls, et cetera, et cetera. So we're really, really key in terms of how we secure data.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, William. Let's take last question from Sumit, and then we'll move on to the next presentation. Sumit, please go ahead.
Well, thank you. I think this is a very interesting presentation. I worked in Africa, in Kenya, Nigeria, many countries, and on both medical tourism and revenue leakage. The question I want to really ask you is linked to revenue leakage in particular, right? I mean, when we basically used to deploy any system like that, we had to integrate with hospital information systems or electronic health records. So do you typically, displace those systems? Do you integrate with them? If you could just explain the model a little bit more to help me understand this, because there are ERP systems in place and HRIS system in place already. So how do you work out the revenue model? I understand data space. I'm understanding the revenue leakage part more. I'd like to get that clarity, please.
Definitely. Thanks, Amit, for that question. It's very key. In this part of the world, especially in Tanzania and South Africa, they're really reliant on these legacy EHR systems, which it's very hard to work around integration, and building interoperability around that. So we have partnered with Sully AI, which is a San Francisco firm that is top. I mean, it's one of the top EHR firms in the US. So we typically work around to displace what they already have using our platform. That gives them a lot more flexibility in terms of like integration with like future vendors and like payments modules, and really bring them up to speed from what they were using in the past. So even though we do have facilities which are like really stuck with what they have, we really try to bring on innovation, starting with where they were stuck and stacking up on that.
Thanks a lot, William. Really appreciate your responses. We'll have to move on to the next presentation. If there are more questions, please use chat section. The next presentation is from VitAlerter. It's an AI IoT platform to help hospitals enhance resident safety and remote patient monitoring. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Miki Raviv. I'm the founder and CEO of VitAlerter. VitAlerter is revolutionizing the way that aged care is managed. Who benefits from VitAlerter? Nursing homes, assisted living, skilled nursing facilities, and hospitals. Looking at the challenges that this market brings, starting from the staff members, 2024 shows a missing of about 400,000 nurses and care staff. The incidence is high. There are about 3 to 5 per 1,000 beds per days of falls, 5 to 15% of pressure injuries, and not unnecessarily hospitalizations. Our solutions start with a unique contactless biosensor that we have developed that by touching below beds, which are sofas, as you can be seen in the picture, we make this furniture smart, and the resident that lay in bed is start monitored, including his continuous vitals, heart rate, respiration rate, movement, and way of getting out of bed. The data that is collected through the box sends to the cloud. In the cloud, we have built machine deep learning algorithms that build patients' personal profile 24/7, 365, and we provide to the staff members a dashboard. The vital sensors' unique features as can be seen here are bed exit management, like leaving bed, getting in bed, aware of bed, pressure change automation. We have like an autopilot mode, which can detect that the resident is not moving certain period of time and push preventive alert to the care on duty to turn the residents. We alert about out of range of various patients' vitals, including heart rate, respiration rate. We have been providing what we call the care automation ability, in which the staff members are carrying this smart tag, and when they come and provide services, the system will record their quality of care and the timestamp and transfer everything to the management system without any human involvement. So the proactive care and safety abilities are fall prevention, bed occupancy, bed exit, like away from bed, sleep quality reports, wandering, and posture change. The digital management allows continuously follow the activities that residents needs to be taken. And again, as I mentioned, using the staff members' smart card, record the actual quality of service in the management system. Benefits of VitAlerter are enhancing resident safety, improving work efficiency. Worldwide, we have deployed so far about 16 countries with more than 160 customers. And in the UK, we shows about 73% fewer falls and ambulance call out, and partnership with the strategic healthcare networks. So why VitAlerter wins over the others? Because it's contactless, predictive, fully integrated, more than 160 facilities across 16 countries. The team. We have a strong R&D team, including Avigad and more, which has tens of years of experience in machine learning, deep learning, and big data, and strong team of marketing. So VitAlerter is transforming elder care through predictive automation, as you can see here, each of these blocks is a residence, which can show the entire status of the residence, including in or out of bed, and also the activities that need to be provided to the residents. And the management, by just getting to the report section, they can see, for example, the daily performance. Staff members are providing services to which residents and what types of activities that they have been provided. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take the question from Luck. Luck, please go ahead. We have Mickey on the call. Luck.
You're right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry, the survey popped up, so I couldn't unmute. Yeah, it's a big market you're going after there. And initially I thought, right, this looks like a lot of other technology I've seen. And then I saw what you had in regards to the quality of care for the caregivers. Now that I thought was very, very interesting. And I just wondered if that's, is that quite unique from what you've done on competitive analysis? And then the other question I had, apologies if you did answer it already, would be, is this applicable for home care?
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, so for the first question, it's thanks of these two guys, which this underbed contactless device that follow the residents, and this is the attached device that follow the caregiver. So this allows the ability to close the loop and make sure that the actual predictive alert that created by the system will be managed and provided the best abilities. Regarding your second question, can you please just repeat it to make sure that
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so is this applicable for home care? So instead of it being an elderly care like institution or hospital, could this be used where you've got people at home where healthcare visitors maybe come once a day or once a week?
Sure, 100%. The best way is to see what we have been doing in home care. So we already have a commercial project with hundreds of home-based customers. It is in
I think
advanced, and we are managing families and also the ability for a local community to follow up. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mickey. Your network may not be supporting you. Let's take one more question from Dr. Sujoy, and I'll turn off your video, Mickey, because your network is a bit slow.
No problem.
Very impressive. Just wanted to understand if you are also accounting for medication use by the residents in your platform, because I didn't see that.
Yes, so medications is not yet supported. We know that it's quite challenging thing, but this is part of our I would say next features that we have been will be added to allows this. The whole concept is to automate the whole cycle and make sure that they are seamlessly I would say approved by the system. So that's something that is on the way.
Thank you, Mickey. Let's take one question from Joseph. Joseph, please go ahead.
So this is sort of a question and a comment. I spent a lot of time selling into long-term care, and there are just a couple things that I wanted you to be aware of just in the US market, not internationally. One, they have really low margins. We found that oftentimes they were trying to actually avoid compliance oversight. So instead of wanting to adhere better and be more compliant, it was actually sort of, how do we avoid getting caught doing things wrong? So one thing about go-to-market in the US, if you decided to go into that market, is I would really recommend working with regulators about potentially sort of coordinating around what particular measures they're looking to have these groups adhere to, rather than going directly to the long-term care. And then just in terms of go-to-market, I was interested in just hearing a little bit more about what your go-to-market strategy was.
Nikki, can you please talk about your go-to-market strategy?
Yes. We have so currently we have two offices. One is in Guangzhou, China, which manage the Chinese market, and one headquarters is in Israel, Tel Aviv, which manage the international. We are having a chain of distributions all over, I would say, key countries like Europe, UK, Germany, South North America. And we already have been collaborated with the key US leaders, which we actually now deploying about 10,000 beds with local compliance company in order to address it. Just about compliance is a key point. We try to minimize the daily staff involvement and we to have everything as seamless as possible, but to have enough valuable data that allows the management to optimize the efficiencies.
Thanks a lot, Mickey. I think there are more questions in the chat section. I would request you to look into them. The next presentation is EthAum Wellness, which provides AI IoT integrated smart platform to promote physical activity among students, which is obviously extremely essential. Here we go.
My name is Ella, founder and managing director of EthAum Wellness Limited.
Do you know physical inactive is the fourth major risk factor of death in the world, contributes to 3.2 million deaths a year. Recent surveys show that over 80% of students classified as physical inactive. They did less than 1 hour of moderate to rigorous exercise daily, and that is the minimum requirement from WHO. Lack of interest and motivation, social factors strongly affect students. Constraints on time, revenue, and resources, they are pain points to the problem. As a solution, EthAum developed the IoT and AI integrated smart platform to promote physical activity among students using gamified and competition environment, then track and analyze metrics.
Our hero product, Smart Bike Competition Platform, turn any place into a velodrome. It allows maximum 6 players to compete as current races, 100 meters or 7.1 kilometer races. It allows real-time data of the track, ranking, speed distance will display on a big LED screen, and it benefits school with their easy setup. Quick competition mode allows students to compete indoor in a safety environment. There were 2 case studies that we show here. Marymount Secondary School, they bought 6 winners by to work with our system. They hold inter-class and inter-house competition. And Taikri Primary School, they set a sports zone to teach students food and calorie knowledge. And also the small fight fit the students, allow them to queue up and compete with each other, heading for the leaderboard, and also help release ADHD student energy. And we're showcased in many events, including the government sports for all day this year.
Upcoming plan, we will develop VR bike routes that shows aesthetic elements around the planet, and also China VR routes that let students experience historical and cultural sites.
And the second solution is Smart Tracker with gamified platform. It helps track MEPA and physical data with the apps, total data production system, iPad screen display, CMS, cloud system, and AI engine. It attracts students to do more exercise with the interactive and animated interface. You can see the various games here. Over 30,000 users used our platform over the past few years under the fitness competition or government project and successfully improved their physical activity.
We also have other projects that include Hong Kong U Nursing Department that deploy our system to 10 local housing estates and Dongwha Hospital that serves 6 special care youth centers.
And our first solution is a smart fitness video analytic platform. And we got the Smart Living Partnership Award in 2022, include tutorials, gamified challenge, sport library, and award system.
Our AI video analytic technology involves 100 scouts, record 6,000 videos, and we use deep learning to formulate the AI posture prediction algorithm. And our key module, AI Fitness Challenge, motivates students to exercise by cool 3D animated coach, skeleton detection, and immediate emoji response powered by AI agent that tell whether student is doing good, pass, or failure.
And further, the fitness assessment helps train student fitness on push-up and sit-up program.
We are supported by Cyberport, Physical Fitness Association of Hong Kong and China, PolyU Sports Science Technology, and other NGOs.
I founded Hardcore Wellness Limited in 2017 and with a team of specialists in electronics, software, and AI development.
As a summary, Archon IoT and AI integrated smart platform benefits school and community by competitive gaming environment that arouse interest in sports. It allows personal target setting and progress monitoring, and we offer more accurate AI exercise video analytical system. Thank you.
Okay, we have Ella on the call to respond to your questions. Any questions for Ella? Jury members? And you may be seeing poll on your screen. Please feel free to respond to the poll that you are seeing.
Please,
Doctor, please, yeah.
Out of that, I'm interested in just if you can describe more your product, like go-to-market strategy.
Yeah. So we have we go to the right now we are mostly putting our products to the market through the schools network, and then we'll propose our solution to schools, and so they can deploy in the school level. And then besides that, we also go to the community services through the government projects and also through some competitions. Yeah. And we have planned to.
Sorry, are there specific regions of the world that you're focused on?
We are now mainly doing it Hong Kong, and we want to explore opportunities to go to other part of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, I think any part in Asia or even USA, Canada is fine for me, or even Europe. Yeah.
Thank you, Ella. We have a question from Sumit. Sumit, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ella. Very useful presentation. I want to understand, because I've worked in this space, the potential of this is not just restricted to students in colleges, as we all know. It could extend to also rehab, also for hospitals and stuff like that. So have you considered those aspects? And also, have you actually looked at clinical metrics to validate whatever exercises are being done? Are they actually showing progress? So some inputs around that would be great.
We have did some validation by the Hong Kong Polytechnics on some of our trackers to show that the data of the heart rate and also the steps data are they're good in terms of comparing the actual physical data. Yeah. And in terms of the progress of monitoring we also did some comparison year by year about some students, they're doing the exercise with our trackers. They see the improvement of their status over years.
Because I worked with such company in the past, and I saw a lot more potential happening on the rehab side, because you could show clinical evidence. In this, there's a need to probably spend much more time to, ensure that comes through. But just a food for thought. If you could probably look at that, because that's a very interesting area to get clinical validation.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Yeah. So.
Thanks a lot, Ella, for the presentation and responding to the questions. These are all the presentations, and now I would request our jury members to probably talk about 2 or 3 startups that stood out from their perspective. Any 2 or 3 startups that you think had the right value proposition, had the right traction, and probably you may want to connect with them later on. So probably 3 startups that stood out from your perspective. Who would like to go first? Yep. Loic, please go ahead.
Yeah, in my mind, the one that stood up, at least for the market that I know, in the cancer care, I like quite much Genesis AI.
Right.
Although I would have needed, quite a lot more information on really what differentiate them on the product, because there are quite few companies trying to do what they do. What's quite nice on their side is really they are tackling down the PACS integration and the equipment integration since the start. and that's really one of the down points, one of the low point of some of their competitors. So that can be nice. And then I'm guessing the Passkeeper, where obviously they probably have like a more differentiated offer, just because of the type of products and value they have behind. In my mind, that's kind of the top two.
Top two opportunities from your perspective. Thanks a lot, Lovic. Appreciate your feedback. Dave, please feel free to go next.
Yeah, I must have a similar background to Loic because I also looked at the Genesis Medical Vision company as for two reasons. One, because I come back from an integration background, so I know where there's big problems in the market and the PACS field is incredibly fragmented. And if there's a solution, and it sounded like they were getting towards an answer eventually about real EHR integration because people don't want to live in the PACS system, just radiologists. That's where you unlock the value. And I think if you can crack that code, you probably can turn an ROI overnight, which is interesting. And secondly, just because it's slightly more differentiated, if I'm going to invest in a startup or a product, I want something that has the least, or at least the most green space and the least amount of competition.
Right. Thanks a lot, Dave. Any other startup other than Genesis?
I think a lot of the other ones I kind of am neutral on, just because in the US there's a lot of startups, and there are so many doing the same types of buckets of what I've heard. There's going to be a lot of competition in that space.
Sure, definitely. Joseph, do you want to go next, please?
Yeah, even though there is a lot of competition with the company Albert, if they were to enter the US market and focus on the Medicare Advantage chronic illness health plans, those are new health plans and it's an emerging market. And you could, if you got hyper-focused, get a really strong foothold in the US. So that was interesting to me. And then the Archon Wellness entering the US market would be really challenging, I think, with this because of how fragmented it is.
Right.
But I could see countries that have more cohesion in their school systems, how that could really expand. So those are the two that
Thanks a lot, Joseph. So from your perspective, Albert Health and Archon. Appreciate it. Sumit, do you want to go next, please?
Oh, so I think a very interesting collection of startups, very, very innovative. I would just say that, of course, Genesis has already been talked about, but I think I felt there was a lot of potential in Vital Alert. The way they've handled that problem of elderly care is something very interesting. And I believe this dashboards and the kind of, actual depth they've gone to is good. Obviously needs a little bit more of work, but there's significant potential there. That's something which can be worked on. Even Vital Alert is another. So I'm just saying that's one aspect. And then Albert Health. Again, whether Albert Health can actually do what it promises is something which needs to be seen. We have to wait to see. But that's one more interesting one. I felt on the other side, purely because the market they are looking at, Life Plus, that's an area that really needs real focus, real attention. They've done integrations, they've done some level of work with some of the hospitals there. It's a fairly untapped market. I worked in Africa. I can tell you huge potential there. So that's another possible gold mine if we unlock the value properly. That's another possibility there.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sumit. Appreciate your time today and your feedback. Anybody else want to unmute and talk about 2 or 3 startups that stood out from their perspective? I see Olivier here. Olivier, good to see you. I see Alejandro here. Some good friends and supporters.
Yeah, I think hi Pankaj. From my standpoint, I think they're all very good proposal, but I really enjoyed Genesis as well. And I mean, for me, Genesis is a high potential if it does a good job on brain, because there are other proposition on many organs, but brain is difficult. So I'm happy to continue the conversation separately if it's possible as well.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Olivia. Again, it's really good to see you. Trust me. Alejandro, please.
No, thank you. Thank you for the invite, and I really enjoyed all the presentations. I think that is a great initiatives. I agree that Genesis and the Albert Health is very interesting, especially for the moment that we are living now. And in general, the key challenge to all of them is to have this differentiation. No, I think that I understand that this is a small pitch, but maybe looking around more in detail, we can find the differentiation, because there's many apps in the market, and you need to know what are the main strengths to differentiate and added value to the market. So thanks again for the invite. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot, Alejandro. Luck, may I request you to go next, please?
Yeah, I was thinking it's hard to narrow it down. Mainly, my bias is just going to be what I've dealt with before. So it's I don't want to be offensive to some of the other startups. But probably the exercise and the startup based in Africa, just because that's out of my. It's an area that I haven't dealt with, so I don't really have much expertise there at all. So those two, I would need more understanding. To be honest with you, all the other ones I thought I could understand. So as a result, I found them exciting. And I hate to be a sheep following the crowd, but yeah, Genesis caught my eye for sure. A lot to do with personal family experience, and Albert as well. So, but they genuinely were all exciting. So yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks a lot, Luck. And as you rightly mentioned, all the startups are really exciting. They are working on some really transformative, innovative solutions. And again, it's very difficult to put all the information, all the value proposition, traction, technology, and everything within 4 minutes. But they tried their best to put all the right elements within that 4 minutes of video pitch. Thanks to all the jury members, all the attendees for being part of this session today. And we will make the introduction between you and the potential startups where you see potential synergies. Again, thanks a lot to the startups for helping with this session today. Thanks everybody for your time today, and we'll reconnect soon. And I'm sure that we will find a lot of synergies to work together and create a win-win situation for everybody. Right? Thank you, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.